All right, what is up, everyone? Thank you very much for joining in to the Project Effingo live stream. At the end, we'll be hosting a Q&A. So if you have any questions, make sure you stick around until the end. So excited to bring this project to you guys. It's been a little bit more than 2 years in the making, from creating the indicator to then automating the indicator and then finally packaging everything together into an NFT that you guys can then hold and use to copy our algorithms trades. We are convinced that this project is bringing a massive amount of utility to the NFT space, and I couldn't be more excited to bring this to you all. Finally, everything is coming to fruition. So before we get started, I think it's best to introduce some of the team members that we have with us today. We have Bijao and Artie. Okay, so Bijao is the collabs manager, and although his main focus has been on collabs, he's also acted as an advisor for the project. He has a deep understanding of the NFT space and what it takes to actually be successful in this space, especially now that we're in a bear market. This project couldn't have come together as well that it has done without Bijao's help. So Bijao, a massive thanks to you. And then we also have Artie as well with us. Artie is the lead software engineer in charge of creating the indicator that is behind the automation, okay, and automating the indicator itself, along with tying everything together into an NFT, working with our Discord bot and everything like that. Again, like Bijao, this project couldn't have come together without Artie. So a massive thanks to Artie. So to get started, I want to explain what Project Effingo is and how it can benefit the holders, right? Simply put, Project Effingo is a utility-based NFT project that acts as a key that then allows our holders to copy our algorithms positions. So I've spent the better part of 6 years developing the easy in, easy out strategy. We've then automated that process into an indicator and an algorithm. When you buy the NFT and stake it on our website, whether it's from the secondary market or if you're one of the first people to mint, you will then go over to our Discord, follow the prompts that our Discord bot gives you. That will then connect your trading account to our algorithm. That way, you're able to copy our algorithms trades automatically without any manual intervention. So that pretty much covers what Project Effingo is. If you guys have any questions at the end, again, feel free to ask. I think one of the most commonly asked questions that we have gotten while we've been creating this project is, why is Project Effingo running under an NFT rather than the general month-to-month subscription that a lot of other places offer? And there's a few reasons why we've done that. So one of the main reasons is it gives holders the chance to not only copy our live trades, but to invest into the success of a team, okay, and invest into the success of our project. Our project succeeding ultimately would likely drive the price of the NFT up. So it's a win-win for everyone involved. And not only that, it gives the investors of the NFT a chance to recoup some of their losses or some of their gains, depending on when they are looking to sell, if they do end up selling the NFT. Now, another question that I get asked quite often is, why did I create Project Effingo? How did the idea come about? One of the main reasons for me even wanting to automate my strategy is the fact that trading is such a difficult game to play. Even when you are making money, even when you are profitable, the amount of stress and time that it takes to be consistent with your approach, and especially after years and years of doing this, eventually most people will get sick of the process. And that's what happened to me. So I don't like the idea of me sitting behind my PC all day looking at charts. So the idea behind creating Project Effingo was taking away a lot of that time that I'm spending behind the charts, to ultimately give me more time to focus on things that I actually enjoy doing and bigger projects that I want to actually create. So I'm not going to dive too deep into how the strategy works or what the strategy is in this live stream. But if you guys want some more information on that, you can check out my Twitter. Also, I have a free Discord and a bunch of free YouTube videos. So if you want to learn more about the strategy that is behind our algorithm, feel free to go and check out some of that information. So now we're going to move on to the automation and the statistics side of things. So this is obvious, but if our indicator or if our algorithm wasn't consistently profitable, then this project obviously couldn't come to fruition. So our main goal throughout the years of creating this was to make sure that not only is our algorithm proven to be consistently profitable, but it needed to be proven to be consistently profitable in all kinds of market environments, all different time frames, and across all different instruments and pairs. Okay, so that was our main goal, and we've posted a bunch of statistics all over Twitter and all on our website. So feel free to go and check that out. One thing that I think a lot of people miss when they're gathering statistics for their strategy is that they don't look at how volatile the results are. So when you are backtesting and you are looking at refining your strategy, that's one thing that you really need to keep in mind. You're not only looking at what your expected return is per trade or how much you're expected to make over a long period of time. You need to look at how volatile those results are. What are the expected downswings in that strategy? And that was one of our main focuses. It wasn't just to say to you guys, okay, look, our algorithm makes money over X amount of time. It was to say to you guys, our algorithm makes X amount of money over time, but here is how volatile it is. Here is how consistent our results are. And I think that is what we've done. So like I said, you can go check out some more in-depth results on our Twitter and also on our website as well. So another important factor when making sure that the results that we share with you guys are as accurate and reliable as possible is making sure that the process of how we actually conduct our tests is also just as refined and thought out. So how did we do this? Well, firstly, we ran tests with our algorithm on the TradingView testing engine to ensure that our backtest results mimic the results I see when trading live, which they did. But then we decided to take the testing process one step further by creating our very own backtesting engine from the ground up, where we're able to import data from multiple exchanges across multiple pairs and timeframes, and then line up with that data with our algorithm rules to ensure that the results match what we were seeing on TradingView's engine, which thankfully they did. So we weren't only going to rely on what TradingView, on the results that TradingView was showing us. So what we did is we built our very own engine, and now we can actually rely on those results. So another important note that we took while running the test was ensuring that we weren't overfitting our algorithm's entry criteria across different pairs and timeframes, okay? As this would encourage more of a confirmation bias rather than seeing if our algo is actually profitable. So an example of overfitting would be, let's say you had X entry parameters set for Bitcoin. When you run the test, the results aren't favorable. You could leave it at that, move on to a different pair or change up your algorithm. Or if you are trying to overfit, you could then change the entry parameters until you have achieved an actual desirable result. So for all the results that we've ever posted, we made sure to avoid overfitting to prove that our algo is consistent across all instruments that we will be trading without much, if any, intervention of the algo's entry parameters at all. So now that we've gone over what Project Effingo is, how the idea came about, and a little bit of a deeper look into our statistics and how they were gathered in the first place, I'd like to quickly touch on how the project will work and what the holders can expect after minting our NFT. So from the very start, one of our main focuses outside of ensuring the algorithm's profitability was ensuring that the holder of the NFT will have the easiest and most seamless process possible, all the way from minting the NFT or purchasing the NFT from the secondary market to proving that you actually own the NFT to copying our trades. With the help of Artie and a few other members of our team, we have developed an easy-to-use system that combines our NFT's code along with the Alertron and our in-house Discord bot that we built from the ground up. All of these things combined, we believe, gives our user not only a seamless process, but gives them more access and control over their account, which is extremely important when running copy trading programs. So throughout the creation of the project, we cycled through a bunch of different ideas of how we can execute the idea, and even tried working with a few third-party companies. And the idea behind doing that was that they would essentially act as a third-party bridge between our algorithm's trades and the holders. So after all of our testing, we ended up coming to the conclusion that Alertron, along with the bot, was the best and most reliable option. It gives our users more control over their trading account. It gives us more control of how the algorithm executes trades. Okay, and it's just easier for us to run the entire system under our bot and the Alertron website as well. So how will everything work after you mint? The process is actually pretty simple and seamless. So first, you will mint the site. You will mint from our site or purchase the NFT from the secondary market. Once you've done that, you then stake your NFT on our site. Once you've staked the NFT, you join our Discord, and all of the links will be on the minting page after you mint. So you join our Discord, verify that you aren't a bot. The bot will then verify that you actually own the NFT and that the NFT is in fact staked. Okay. Once you've done that, you will then get a few more prompts from our bot and you'll be asked what exchange you're trading on. Also, how much risk do you want to choose per trade? And this is a massive one. A lot of big copy trading programs and a lot of big copy trading websites out there don't offer this option. It's if they do offer some kind of risk option, it's how much of your total account balance do you want to risk per trade. And I understand that for a lot of algorithms and how they manage their positions, this can be an approach that you can take. But for ours, because it mimics a manual trading style so closely, that just won't work. So you'll be able to actually choose your risk per trade as if you were trading as if you were taking the trades manually. So that's great. So once you go through all the prompts, you choose your risk, you choose your exchange that you're trading on. Literally, you just press go, and then your account will then follow our algorithms trades automatically. It really is as easy as that. It's super seamless. So I think that pretty much concludes everything that I wanted to cover. I think BJ might have a few questions that are more related to the consumer side of things that he's going to ask. So we'll hand that over to BJ. And after that, if you guys have any questions whatsoever, feel free to ask them in chat. We'd be happy to answer. All right.
Yo,
Yeah, there you go. You should be unmuted.
yeah, cool.
Yeah, there you go. You should be unmuted.
Yeah, cool.
You might want to close the stream in the background though.
Yeah, I'm gonna close the stream.
All right,
Here we
sweet.
good now?
Yep, I
Yeah.
can hear. Can everyone hear BJ?
Put a 7 in the chat if you can hear BJ, even though I can't see it.
Yep. All right, you're all good, buddy.
Awesome. Yeah, I think you pretty much answered all my questions, to be honest. That was really concise. But one thing I did want to get across first was if anyone listening represents any communities that want some whitelists, feel free to DM me on Twitter. SMFX can post my Twitter link in the Twitch chat, and yeah, just hit me up and
I'll do that now.
we'll sort something out.
Yeah,
So
too easy.
one thing I had a question about was just on the max drawdown. So you said that holders can adjust the risk levels to, whatever they want, because I know you've said in your own trading you generally trade 0.5% risk, but the indicators tests are all on 2%. So if they can adjust that down to 1%, that would reduce the drawdown by half, right?
Yeah, so that was really important when we were setting this up, and that's why we didn't end up going with any of the third-party copy trading bridges or any of their platforms. It's because the risk options that they were giving to their clients just didn't really suit that of a manual trading strategy. So all of our results posted on our website, we're using 2% risk per trade. So an example of that would be if you had $100 total balance in your account and you were risking 2% on that trade. If you lost the trade, you would lose the $2 out of your account. So it was really important that when we were setting this up, that the users were able to choose their risk as if they were taking the trades manually, and exactly how I would take those trades manually. So when you see a 30% or 25% drawdown on the website, just keeping in mind that our trades for those tests anyway were taken using 2% risk. So for me personally, I use a lot less, much less, 0.5%, sometimes even less than that when taking my live trades. So just keeping that in mind when you're looking at the results. Yeah.
Yeah, nice. And you mentioned not using the third-party software. I think that's really good as well to just keep control within the scope of our very talented devs, right? So if something needs to happen, they'll be on it super quick. Whereas if we're working with third-party people, you're relying on other people. So having control is super, super important.
Yeah, 100%. And this is something that came really quite apparent when we were trying to set everything up and get the testing done. Is if we did encounter an error, then we're waiting 1 or 2 days for their devs to reply, and then a few more days for them to fix it up. But in this scenario, just using Alertron and building our own bot, we're able to kind of manage everything directly. And if we do have any issues, they can get fixed straight away. So, yep.
Yeah, awesome. Another thing I wanted to touch on was like just very, very excited myself to I haven't been trading a lot because I've been building in Web3 lately, but the idea of freeing up time to focus on what the individuals want to build or work on is super, super exciting. Does the indicator trade like 24/7, or are there certain times you're going to run it?
The indicator mimics my manual strategy one for one, pretty much, right? So when I'm entering a trade manually, I don't generally enter mid session. So whenever I enter a trade, it's normally around a session close or a session open, the daily close, things like that. So when the indicator takes a trade and the algorithm enters the position, it will only enter that position around the same times that I would manually. So, um, yeah.
Cool. Awesome. Honestly, I think that's pretty much it for my questions because you covered everything really well in the stream. But is anyone putting any in the chat?
So we've got one here. Did you have any tests where the copy trading ran the account into so much loss? Do you have to top up or restart? There were some tests on some exotic pairs where it didn't run into 100% loss and it was completely liquidated. But there were certainly some tests that we ran where the results weren't very desirable and it's not something that you would want to copy. On We even ran some tests where the results came back in a decent amount of profit. But like I explained a little bit earlier, that um, it's not only important that you look at the profit; it's how volatile those results are as well. So all of the results that we've shared on Twitter and on our website take into account the overall volatility of those results.
Something I'll just add on that was there's certain pairs that the indicator seems to work very well on, and you have a suspicion about that because you think it's to do with the market makers, right?
Yeah. When I first came up with this strategy and started developing it, I was trading Forex for the most part. And for those that are a little bit more experienced in the markets, you'll know that Forex is obviously a much more liquid market than crypto. And how the price feed is delivered there is much more efficient and much better, in my opinion, in the majority of Forex pairs than what we see in crypto. It was only when Sam, FTX, and Alameda came along in 2020 did the price feed start to clear up for crypto and some of the coins that they have a little bit more control over, or some of the coins that are just generally more efficient, do tend to work a little bit better with the strategy and therefore a bit better with the algorithm. Yep.
Very nice.
All right, we have some more questions. Is there a minimum RR? So our take profit system kind of, it has two parts. So there is a minimum R&R that it will look to take, but it's also working with the current price action. So if it enters a trade, it will look at the current price action and decide if it needs to close the trade a little bit early or even hold on to the trade if the algorithm thinks that the position is worth holding on to, that we might be able to get some more of a reward out of the position. So the Alertatron receives their alert through your trading account. Oh, so our indicator will just stay on trading view. So the indicator prints an alert. It is then sent to Alertatron, and then Alertatron then sends that alert out to your accounts, your trading accounts, through API keys. Yeah, so liquidity is obviously something that we had to keep in mind. So Draker asked, what's the minimum liquidity where it makes sense for the bot to run? We can't obviously have 100 or 200 people copying trades for low cap coins. It just doesn't make any sense. And like I said, only some coins have the efficient price action that we need for the algorithm to run efficiently. What pairs are on the auto trader? We're running only a few very select pairs. Like I said, some more of the liquid efficient pairs like Ethereum, Bitcoin, Solana, FTT, BNB, and a few other high caps, but we're not looking to spread it out too much. So I found Mood asked, I'm in backtesting, did you find better exchanges than others? Also, different pairs of different drawdowns. So FTX, generally speaking, had the best price delivery in terms of results. Although when testing pair to pair from exchange to exchange, for the results that we posted anyway, we found that they were still pretty consistent. But FTX did have the best price delivery, I think, for certain reasons. But I won't cover that here. Is there a limit to the number of NFTs that can be minted? Users can use the indicator. Yeah, so we haven't decided an exact number for how many NFTs will be available, but we're thinking around the 300 to 500 mark. We are just trying to gauge how much interest there is on the project over the next few days, and that will ultimately be the deciding factor. But we're not going to go over X amount due to the fact that we don't want too many people copying the trades. So, um,
Yeah, so 500 would always be the max, right? The
yeah,
max
yeah, we're
max,
no,
but
yeah, yeah,
maybe
the
less.
max. We'll
Yeah.
never ever go over 500. And after this mint, after we launch, there will never ever be a second round of NFTs launched. It will only ever be this amount. Um, is there a limit? The users specify the pairs it runs or totally controlled by the indicator. They will be totally controlled by the indicator, but for the exchanges that we have available, we've made sure that all of the coins that we'll be trading are available on all of those exchanges. Are there different settings for the indicator? Can I see which are the best tested settings? So if you take a look at all the results for the last month, a month or two that we posted on Twitter, all of those results are using the exact same settings. So we haven't, like I explained, the overfitting scenario where you could change the settings up to achieve more desirable results. We made sure that we didn't do that. And in fact, all of the results we posted are all using the exact same settings on Twitter. Okay. Is there a maximum size dollar that the indicator will use per trade? So the amount that is entered per trade is based on the user. So, like I said, if you have $100 in your account and you set your risk to 2% with our bot, you will only ever lose 2% of your account, so $2. And that will vary from user to user. But our bot will automatically calculate what position size you should be using on the trade if you, depending on what percent you have set. Is this going to be the, yes, this is going to be the only way to get the copy trading bot. Like I explained at the start, there are a few big reasons why we decided to go with an NFT project rather than a month to month model, but this will be the only way that I will ever release the copy trading to anyone. I will never come out with a model that isn't an NFT, this project specifically. Okay. So is the indicator that generates the alerts in TradingView the same indicator that was sold on your website? The indicator that we're using for the copy trading does use the bones for the indicator that I've sold in the past, but there are a few other tools and tweaks that we've added to that aren't included in the indicator that's for sale on the site for the copy trading. For a few reasons, obviously, I'm not going to ever sell the ability for someone to see how that works on the front end. So, yep. Will there be an insurance for users in case of a glitch would cause a bigger drawdown? So ultimately, at the end of the day, it is going to be up to the user to make sure that everything runs correctly, and that when the bot enters a trade, that it's all running as it should. We have ran adequate tests. We've tested a bunch of different scenarios to make sure there are no issues from exchange to exchange, and we've fixed the errors that we've come across. But ultimately, no, to answer your question, there won't be an insurance. That comes down to you. That's your responsibility. Okay. I think that covered a lot. Does anybody else have any questions? We'll be happy to answer them.
Good questions.
Yeah, they are good. Okay, so it'll use a mix of market and limit orders. Okay, so this was one of the big things that our team spoke about when we were setting everything up. Imagine 300 to 500 people, let's say, all entering at the exact same price. That'd just fill up the books. What would happen? We would get front ran. Our stops would get hunted. We wouldn't get filled on positions and things like that. So there are a few ways around this. We can use scattered orders. We can use a mix of market and limit orders where it makes sense. So we do have a mix of those orders set up, but there will be a mix of both, pretty much. How much do I need to start with to be a millionaire by Christmas? Well, you're only trading demo funds, buddy. So I don't know. Just fill your demo account up with however much you want. You probably said this when mint. So we will be announcing a mint date sometime in the next few days, but we're looking at next week or the week after. So it will be a limited mint. Whatever we will open it up for 48 to 72 hours. Okay, and then after that we will close the mint off. At least that is the plan at the moment. Anyway, that's still to be decided. That can change, but that's what we're thinking at the moment. Is there a limit to how many trays can be open at once? Are these in user settings? So there's no limit to how many trades can be open at once, other than there can only be one open position per pair at a time, at any single time. So we only really have 2 to 3 pairs being traded at once. At the moment, we're only even looking at 1 to 2. So that will change depending on different market environments, but you won't, don't ever expect to wake up in the morning and look to see that you have 20 positions open, because there's only ever going to be one position open at a time per pair. Was the dollar amount given yet? What's the difference between being on whitelist? So what's the dollar amount given yet? I'm assuming for how much is it going to cost to mint? What's the difference between being on whitelist or not, besides minting for sure? So the dollar amount we're looking at is about 2,200 US dollars, but that is subject to change as well. We're just gauging interest over the next few days.
Equivalent in Sol.
Yeah, equivalent in Sol. So we'll be minting it in Sol, keeping that in mind. Thanks for that. So what's the difference between being on the whitelist or not? So there's no difference between being on the whitelist and just minting in the public mint. Being on the whitelist just basically secures your spot, just in case we sell out. So we do have a few hundred people on the whitelist, keeping that in mind. So a few hundred people. Obviously, not every single one of them is guaranteed to mint or not, but a few hundred people have expressed their interest in the last month or two, saying that they do want to secure a spot. So keeping that in mind. We will be giving away a few whitelist spots at the end of this stream. I might not do it on stream. What I might do is just post the winners right after. But if you're interested in that, go to the Project Effingo Twitter page and retweet the stream's link. Okay, dollar amount for mint. I remember something. Yeah. So it's around 2,200. So with all those users copying the same trades, how does that prioritize them for who gets filled first? So like I explained in one of the previous answers, is that we're using a mix of market and limit orders to make sure, well, to do our best to make sure that everyone gets filled at the most desirable price. But that being said, like I explained, you cannot have 300 to 500 people using limit orders for every single entry and every single exit in all scenarios. It just won't work. Otherwise, at least the people. No, we haven't over allocated the whitelist. I know a lot of NFT projects do that to basically just raise hype. Oh, look, we have 1,000 people whitelisted, but only a 500 supply. For example, we didn't want to do that. We won't over allocate. We do believe that we will sell out regardless. So.
Yeah, we want our community. If you're on the whitelist, you have the time to mint, like a traditional whitelist was designed for, right? You don't have to wake up at 4 a.m. to mint. You can just wake up on your normal schedule and you've definitely got a guaranteed mint, and bang, happy days.
Yeah, exactly. So Alien Man, shoot me a DM on Discord. Final questions: how to develop such a deep, sexy voice? Be Australian, buddy. Yeah. All right, is that it, everyone? Does anybody else have any questions? I'm really happy with how all of this panned out. I couldn't be more excited to launch this. Hey guys, like I've put in so many hours into this. Really excited. Yeah, whitelist participants will have a guaranteed mint. Correct. And I've also recorded all of this, so I'll be uploading it to YouTube for anyone that wants to go over the start again, just in case they missed it. No worries. So if that's all, I think I'll end the stream there. I will post the winners of the giveaway for the whitelist spots here in a sec. I really do hope you all mint over the next week or so. If you have any questions, you can feel free to send me or BJ a DM. We'd be happy to help you out. And yeah, I really look forward to it. Let's go. Let's
See you
go.
guys. Have a good one.
All right. See you later. Bye.